Anna and welcome back to Living Dead Doll Talks. So in this video we are looking at Pestilence. The coffin just looks like this. The usual generic Living Dead doll coffin. Opening it up, it comes with the sleeve that the other Living Dead dolls come with if you buy them new online. Just looks like this. Says the usual things: I'm dead, pure evil, I sleep with the worms. Pestilence looks like in the coffin. Looks like this. This little guy is from the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse series, and this is my favourite doll out of this series. I will read the clipboard poem to you and then we will discuss the doll. Okay, the poem says, "There before me was a white horse, and its rider rode out, bent on pestilence." So, in case any of you guys are wondering what pestilence means, pestilence just means disease. So once again, they've used personification for the doll. I just dropped the white horse. So once again, they're using personification by giving the word pestilence, which is disease, characteristics, such as this doll. So yeah. And this doll comes with, like war, this doll comes with a horse, plastic horse, and this one's pestilence, except this one has these marks upon it. It's basically a plague-ridden horse. So I like the detail they've included on that, and how this is all kind of distressed looking because of the disease. However, you all know my opinion on this. I don't like the fact that they've used this little plastic piece on it. I would have preferred a model horse in here, which they could have painted white and then done this effect on. I just think that that would have made the doll more effective and given it more depth, but that's just personal preference. So yes, moving on to the doll. This is what Pestilence looks like. Now, Pestilence outfit is inspired by a plague doctor, which is pretty cool. I'll leave information as well in the description about a plague doctor. If you want to look into it further, then you can do. But basically, a plague doctor, what they did was, in history, plague doctors would go round to people's houses who were infected with the plague, and they would wear these masks because they believed these masks, like this, protected them from getting the plague, but in reality they didn't really. And they would go around and try and cure the people of the plague, but the plague, the Black Plague, basically killed an awful lot of people because obviously it's a disease, so it spreads. So technically the plague doctor could get the disease, and if he's going to someone else's house or walking around the street, he would be a carrier of the disease. So by him trying to cure people, him himself would be infected with the plague. But like I said, that's just a really brief kind of bit of information about it, but I will leave more information in the description if you want to read about it, because it's quite interesting. Well, I think it's interesting. I think learning about diseases and parasites are interesting. I don't know what you all think, but I think it's interesting. So the outfit, putting his little hattie back on, basically just looks like this: a long black cape and this little black cat, which I must say, this black cat is actually very well made. I wish it was attached to his head, like stuck on, because it falls off sometimes. But I understand why they couldn't really do that, because obviously you won't be able to lift the mask up then. I will lift the mask up in a moment for you, you can see his face. So it's just long and black and very simplistic. The material on this feels very nice. It's still fabric, but it's a nicer quality of fabric. He also, like War, has military boots. Him and War actually have the exact same model of boots. And this is Velcro and you can undo it, but he's not wearing an undergarment top, he's just wearing trousers. And then he has this covering his head, which is a black material also. This material feels like a swimsuit material. It's quite stretchy. And now, if you're kind of disturbed by graphic images, I guess, I don't know. I'm about to show you his face, but if you're easily put off by things, I would say maybe skip for a few minutes. If you are disturbed quite easily, I will leave a little annotation here as to when you should tune back into this video, because I'm going to show his face and I don't want any of you guys to be put off or disturbed, so that's just something I'd like you to be aware of. It's not that bad, I don't think, but I just want you to know that. So I'm going to show you his face, and yeah, lifting the mask up, this is what his face looks like. I love the face. I love the... Sorry, there just was a wasp that flew past. Clearly the wasp wanted to get his debut in this video. That's what his face looks like. As you can see, it's all infected and there are red sores on it and pus, and it's wicked. Obviously this is down to the plague and how it has affected him. Also, I think that's probably why he's wearing the mask. You could say as well, to cover his face so people can't see that he himself is infected with the plague. The detail on his face is really good. You can just see the time and the amount of work that's been put into it. Painting the veins on, the one black eye and then the one green eye that's bloodshot. It's just really good and really effective, I think. And it's also very good how they've kind of kept with the theme of infection, and they've done the same exact effect on the horse. I do rate them for that, and I think that's very good. Even though I don't really like the horse, but yeah, I think it's very good and very effective, and it's a good concept and a good idea. I think it's very imaginative and very creative and very subtle, because you pull this down, you don't see as much of it. I mean, you could see it slightly, but unless you lifted the mask up, I don't think it would become apparent and you wouldn't necessarily know about the infection being on his face. Put his little hat back on. So that's Pestilence. This series is based on the apocalypse, which, if you read the Bible has references to the apocalypse. So I quite like that, and I mean, I personally believe that there will eventually be an apocalypse. I'm touched more upon this in my war video, talking more about this in depth, so I don't really want to repeat myself, but I will link you to that video below for you to watch should you want to. But no, like I said, overall I would say this is a weaker series, but Pestilence did definitely stand out for me within this series. Plus the name Pestilence I think is way more imaginative than saying disease. I think that's really good. So overall I think this series is definitely a weaker one, because the concept was good. I just feel as though the execution was weakened by the plastic horses, because I think they should have just created miniature models of the horses with their full body, so that the horsemen could actually fully sit on the horses. I would have preferred that. I know it probably would have cost a little bit more, but then they could have just upped the price a little bit more, surely, because I mean, with the other dolls we have death certificates also, so they haven't included death certificates within this doll, so I feel as though they should have included something else to kind of balance it out, really, in my mind. Maybe that's just my opinion, but I do feel as though there's just something lacking with this series. But Pestilence is the best, in my opinion, in this series, purely because of like how imaginative the name is and kind of the history behind it of the plague doctor. I feel as though if you're going to get a doll from this series, get Pestilence. Pestilence is definitely the one that I feel as though you should invest in, and maybe that's just my opinion. If you have an opinion on this video, this doll, this series, Living Dead dolls in general, let me know in the comments. And I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will speak to you all in my next video.